Medication for addiction proven to save lives. Right now, there is a push to make it more widely available to people who are struggling and in need.
But that effort is facing fierce opposition from big healthcare companies. Karen Anderson is here with more on this. Karen.
Methadone is one of just 2 medications proven to work for opioid addiction. Now, it reduces the cravings, and studies have shown it prevents overdoses. But the rules around who can prescribe it are half a century old, and some say a change to them is long overdue.
I loved my son.
Dr. James Baker's memory of his son Mackie motivates him to push for change every day. Mackie died from a heroin overdose in 2016 after battling addiction for years. Dr. Baker believes he would be alive today if they had better access to a treatment for opioid use disorder. Methadone.
Methadone, had it been available at the doctor's office, Mackie might be here right now.
Methadone can only be dispensed by tightly regulated clinics called opioid treatment programs, known as OTPs. Dr. Baker says that would have meant a 3-hour drive every morning for Mackie to wait in line at an OTP for someone to watch him take his dose.
He and his friends, when we talked about it, called methadone liquid handcuffs, because life would have had to revolve around getting to that OTP, and he said, I just can't do that, Dad.
We could be saving so many more lives.
Dr. Sarah Wakeman, the senior medical director for substance use disorder at Mass General Brigham, says methadone has been proven to reduce the risk of dying from overdose, and she has seen its power to help her patients in recovery.
People don't have withdrawal symptoms, they don't have craving, and it allows them to function normally.
But she says the federal regulations, written 50 years ago, prevent too many people from using it.
I can prescribe methadone for pain any day I want in my clinic, but if I want to give someone methadone, which again is a miracle molecule as a treatment for addiction, I can't offer that even though I'm a board-certified addiction doctor, and that's just wild and doesn't make any sense.
We need to move more to treatment, more to accessibility, more to thinking about the patient, more than the opioid treatment programs that now corner the market and don't allow for fundamental change.
Senator Ed Markey is co-sponsoring a bill called the Modernizing Opioid Treatment Access Act, which would allow the 7,000 board-certified addiction doctors in the U.S., like Dr. Wakeman, to prescribe methadone for addiction. It could then be picked up at a pharmacy. But he's facing fierce opposition from the industry.
This is a dangerous public health policy.
Sarah Wattenberg, the director of quality and addiction services at an industry group that represents opioid treatment programs, says the current system protects patients by monitoring them taking the methadone while also providing counseling and therapy.
Methadone is very powerful, and if it's being used without proper medical supervision, then we could have a lot of people dying.
Reforms going into effect later this year will allow states to expand access to methadone, including telehealth and prescriptions for people under 18. But Dr. Wakeman and others say they don't go far enough because still only OTPs can deliver the care.
We need to create a system that makes it as easy as possible for people to access welcoming, person-centered, high-quality care that includes access to medications. And for many people, the current model of having to go daily to a clinic is not going to ever allow them to access the treatment that they need.
So that bill to expand access to methadone has bipartisan support. Now, after a favorable vote out of a committee, both sides are waiting to see if the full Senate will take it up.